Hello, I'm Dr. Judy Hartwell. And before we begin, let me ask you a simple question. Have you ever avoided eating an egg? Not because you didn't want it, but because you were afraid? Afraid it might raise your blood sugar. Afraid because it contains cholesterol. Afraid you might be doing something wrong and that it could affect your health tomorrow. If so, you're not alone. Over the years, I've met hundreds of patients who completely eliminated eggs from their diet, believing they were harmful. And here's the interesting part. Many of them continued eating foods that actually worsened diabetes. A paradox, isn't it? Today, we're going to set the record straight. No myths, no extremes, just facts, experience, and common sense. And by the end of this video, you might see a simple egg in a completely different way. Let's start with the most important thing. Understanding what actually happens in the body with diabetes. Diabetes is not just high blood sugar. It's a disruption of a complex system involving hormones, cells, the liver, muscles, and even the brain. The core issue is either a lack of insulin or reduced sensitivity to it. Now pay attention. The key factor affecting blood sugar levels is carbohydrates. And this is where eggs have a major advantage. A single egg contains virtually no carbohydrates. That means it doesn't cause a spike in blood glucose the way sweets, white bread, or even some healthy breakfasts do. In real life, it looks like this. Someone eats a sugary cereal or instant oatmeal, and within an hour, their blood sugar spikes and then crashes. The result? Fatigue, hunger, irritability. Now imagine a different scenario. A breakfast with eggs and vegetables. Blood sugar stays stable. No spikes, no sudden hunger an hour later. This is exactly what we aim for in diabetes management: stability. But let's go deeper. An egg is not just low carb. It's a complete biological product containing everything needed to support life. That's why its nutritional profile is so impressive. Egg whites provide high-quality protein. They are easily absorbed and help maintain muscle mass. And muscles play a huge role in glucose utilization. The more active muscle mass you have, the better your body manages blood sugar. This is especially important for people with type 2 diabetes. Now let's talk about the yolk. This is where most of the controversy lies. The yolk contains fats, vitamins A, D, E, K, choline, and yes, cholesterol. But let's clarify something. Dietary cholesterol and blood cholesterol are not the same thing. In most people, the body regulates cholesterol levels on its own, and food has a much smaller impact than previously believed. However, and this matters for people with diabetes, we always look at the bigger picture. Because diabetes often comes with an increased risk of cardiovascular disease. So my approach is always this: don't eliminate, control. One egg per day is a safe and reasonable amount for most people. In some cases, about 5 to 6 eggs per week. But it's always individual. Now let's talk about something people often overlook. It's not the eggs that are harmful, it's what we do with them. Think about it. A boiled egg is one thing. An egg fried in a large amount of butter with bacon is something completely different in terms of metabolic impact. When you add excess fats, especially saturated fats, you increase calorie intake and put extra strain on your cardiovascular system. Add processed meats like sausages or bacon, and you create a combination that may worsen insulin sensitivity. So the question isn't whether you can eat eggs. The real question is, how are you eating them? Best options include boiled eggs, poached eggs, omelets with minimal oil, baked eggs with vegetables. And this brings us to another key principle: combinations. Eggs themselves don't raise blood sugar, but if you eat them with white bread, sugary sauces, or processed foods, the overall effect changes. An ideal combination is eggs plus vegetables plus a source of complex carbohydrates. For example, an omelet with spinach and tomatoes, plus whole grain bread. Vegetables provide fiber. Fiber slows down digestion and helps prevent blood sugar spikes. Now, I want you to think about something else. Why is there so much fear around eggs? The answer is simple: information without context. At some point, people were told, eggs contain cholesterol, therefore they're bad. And that idea stuck for decades. But science evolves, research gets updated, and today we understand that things are far more nuanced. Nutrition is not about good and bad foods. It's a system, and within that system, eggs can be a very beneficial component. Now, a practical tip. If you have diabetes, the best way to understand whether a food works for you is observation. Try a simple experiment. Eat a breakfast with eggs. Measure your blood sugar before eating and again 1 to 2 hours after. Then compare it with a different breakfast, one high in fast carbohydrates. You'll see the difference. And that won't be theory, it will be your personal physiology. Another important aspect, satiety. Eggs are filling. That means you're less likely to snack on sugary or highly processed foods later, and that directly affects blood sugar control. Very often, the problem isn't the main meals, it's the snacks. And if your breakfast is structured properly, that's already half the battle. Let's also talk about frequency. Can you eat eggs every day? In most cases, yes, as long as your diet is balanced. Eggs shouldn't replace other protein sources. Fish, poultry, legumes, nuts, all of these are important for overall nutrition. And finally, the most important point. Diabetes is not a sentence or a list of restrictions. It's a system you can learn to manage comfortably, and nutrition is not about limitation. It's about understanding. When you understand how food affects your body, fear disappears, control takes its place, and that's what gives you freedom. So, let's summarize. Eggs and diabetes. They do not raise blood sugar. They provide high-quality protein. They help control appetite. They can be part of your daily diet. But preparation method matters, combinations matter, moderation matters, individual response matters. And if you've been avoiding eggs out of fear, maybe it's time to rethink that decision. Not based on myths, but based on knowledge. I'm Dr. Judy Hartwell. Take care of your health, stay curious, listen to your body, and I'll see you in the next video.